comes to see her. With the Alzheimer's, she has trouble remembering things, but it'll still please her, you know. It's room 19 at the end of the corridor.
Thank you. Hello, Mrs. Shepherd.
Is it time for my pills already?
No, Mrs. Shepherd,
They're never on time with my pills. I don't know what they do here. In the other hospital, they were always on time. But here...
My name is Madison Page. I'm a journalist. I'd like to ask you some questions about your son.
I don't like this hospital. The food isn't very good, you know.
Try to remember, Mrs. Shepherd. John's twin brother was placed with a foster family after the accident. What was the name of the foster family?
I asked them for a television, you know. They said I didn't have enough money. It's a pity. I'm fond of television.
I know what happened at Carnaby Square. Do you remember?
Carnaby Square. I think I used to live there a long time ago. We didn't have much money at the time, you know. We had to make do with very little.
Your other son, Mrs. Shepherd, John's twin brother. What was his name?
What other son? Oh, I have no other son. I never had any children.
Mrs. Shepherd, your son may be linked to a series of murders. Perhaps you have some information that could help the investigation.
Are you a new nurse? Where are my pills?
Do you remember John?
My Johnny. He is a good little boy, you know.
I think your son is in trouble, Mrs. Shepherd. He's done some terrible things. I need to find him. Do you understand?
Terrible things you're telling me. He never came to see me, can you believe it? In 10 years, never. No one forgets their mother, do they?
You had a son named John, and John had a twin brother.
Do you have my pills? It's time for my pills. I love origami, but that's not my favorite one. I love origami, but that's not my favorite one. Oh, you know how to do these little dogs, too. My children loved origami. I taught them how to do it. John loved the little dogs. He always wanted to call them Max. Max, Max, Max. All dogs with the same name. I was wasting my time telling him they couldn't all have the same name. But he always wanted his paper dogs Max. It's funny, isn't it?
It'd take days, if not longer, to find the name of the family that adopted her son. Sean Mars would be dead by then. Seems to be working. She's remembering stuff. Gotta find something else to show her. This woman might be the origami killer's mother. Must be some way to get her to remember.
Did you make these origami figures?
My little paper animals. They played with them for hours. I showed my boys how to make them, you know.
Yes, your boys, Mrs. Shepherd. John and... what was your other son's name again?
My other son? I only had one son, my little Johnny.
Are these your children, Mrs. Shepherd? John and his brother? Is that them?
They're good little boys. Their father never looked after them, always drinking. They didn't have an easy life, you know.
All right, no point in wasting my time. I won't learn anything more by staying here. Does Mrs. Shepherd ever talk about her past?
It's not all very clear to her now. Sometimes she'll remember the oddest things, though. I suppose if she sees something that reminds her of her past.
Does she get many visitors?
She's been here for 10 years and you're the first.
Did she ever mention her sons?
Sons? Well, she often mentions John. I think he drowned.
Does she ever talk about her other son?
I didn't know she had another one. I've never heard her mention it. Sometimes, if you show her things, it seems to trigger a memory from her past. You might get it to remember.
Thanks for the advice. Show her things that take her back. Show her things that take her back. Her memory is coming back. Don't stop now. Just remember. You don't seem to get many flowers, Mrs. Shepherd.
No, but I love them. My son knows that I love flowers. I know he'll bring me some. What a lovely orchid. My sons loved orchids. We used to grow them in the back. When John died, I laid orchids on his grave. I cried when they told me. I'd already lost one of my children, and now they were taking away another one, you understand.
The foster family, Mrs. Shepherd. What was the name of the foster family that adopted John's brother?
They were really very nice people. I met them, you know. In the beginning, I used to go and see my little boy. And then I got sick and I couldn't go any longer. Perhaps he thought I'd forgotten him. He must have thought I didn't love him anymore.
His name, Mrs. Shepherd. What was his name?
But I loved him. If you only knew how much I missed him.
Please, Anne. His name. What was his name?
Come closer.
The last trial. The last question. Are you prepared to give your life to save your sons? There is a deadly poison in this vial. It will kill you in exactly 60 minutes. If you drink it, you will get the last letters of the address. You will have enough time to save your son and say goodbye to him, but then you will die. You can drink the vial or decide to leave. The choice is yours. last letters have been sent to your phone.
I did what I had to, Sean. Your dad's coming to save you. Nowhere, and I'm out of time. Damn fucking shitty letters from this fucking address! Come on! There's gotta be a way to do this! Several different addresses fit these letters. God, they're scattered all over the city. I don't have time to check them all. I may only have time for one address. If Sean's not there, I'm done. It's a crapshoot.
We've only got a few more hours left to save Sean Mars. There has to be a goddamn clue somewhere. It's probably staring me in the face. This kid's gonna die, and I'm going around in circles!
All packed up and ready to go?
What are you talking about?
The investigation's over. We know who did it. We no longer need your services anymore, Norman. So you can ride your files all the way back to Washington. I'd be lying if I said I was gonna miss you.
The investigation isn't over. You have absolutely nothing on Mars.
Mars is guilty. Case closed. Anyway, Anyway, it's no concern of yours now. You're off the case. So pack up and fuck off.
Blake, you are an unbalanced, psychopathic asshole!
I'll take that as a compliment. Honestly, I don't give a shit what you think. I found the origami killer. Everyone's happy. End of story. Have a nice trip back, Norman.
The killer's name is here. Somewhere in this data. I just have to find it. Find it before it's too late.
Oh, one last thing, sir. You should be careful not to overindulge in you know what. It can be dangerous. Very dangerous. It'll end up killing you if you're not careful. That would be most unfortunate, sir.
Ari was in record mode when I was fighting with the killer. Perhaps there's something on it. Two receipts from the same gas station. Might be near the killer's home. Ugh, that doesn't get us anywhere. The killer lived in this zone. 342 people live around there. Not good enough. Gotta find a means of identifying the killer more precisely. I can't go on. I can't go on.
I tried, John. I really tried. But he wouldn't come. Please don't die, John. Please. Don't forget about this guy.
What's your touch, girl? The Origami Killer's apartment. There must be something that'll tell me where Sean Mars is. Cop's uniform. Always trust a cop. That's why children went with him. He was dressed as a cop. Shit, it needs a password. Got it. Max. The name John gave to his paper dogs when he was a child. What the hell is that? An address. It's gotta be where Sean Mars is. Hurry. There's no time to lose.
So you found my little secret?
It's over, Scott. All those children killed just to find a father capable of saving his son?
Shut up! You don't understand.
There's one child left. There might still be time to save him. Let him go. Do what your father couldn't do.
too high. I'll kill myself if I jump. We ought to find something else.
Sean! Sean! Can you hear me? Daddy's here. I'm gonna get you out of there. My God, Sean, answer me. Don't die on me, son, please. Breathe. You gotta breathe. Don't leave me. Sean, no. Don't leave me. Oh, Sean. Oh. I thought you were gone.
Dad, I knew you'd come and save me.
Sean, listen. You are the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life. want you to know that whatever happens, I love you more than anything in the world. I'm not dead. I took the poison an hour ago, and I'm not dead.
My father didn't lift one finger to save his son.
Who are you?
Oh, you don't know me, Ethan. But we've met before. I have been looking for a long, long time. Looking for a father that would be able to do what mine could not do. Sacrifice himself to save his son. Oh, I searched. Oh, I searched. But they all failed. And then I remembered you.
All those murders? Just to find a father capable of saving his son?
Just to find a father? Have you any idea how it feels to know you've been a worthless nothing in your father's eyes? Believe me, I've suffered just as much as my victim.
You're mad. You're completely fucking mad!
Go ahead, you can kill me now. It doesn't matter. You've accomplished what I wanted to see.
You manipulated me, but now it's over. I have my son. You have no power over me anymore. You're gonna have to face up to your nightmares on your own now.
Dad, don't leave me.
I gotta push open the door if we're gonna get out of here.
I never want you to leave me alone again, Dad.
I promise I never will, Sean. I promise.
general relief this morning when the police announced that they had found Sean Mars alive more than 4 days after his disappearance. Mars was found wandering in the Old Docks neighborhood, exhausted and disoriented. It is believed that he managed to escape from the Origami Killer who had kidnapped him. The investigation is currently on hold while child care specialists wait to interview the boy in hopes that he can provide some new information on the Origami Killer. Police are still at a loss as to the identity of the so-called Origami Killer, who currently remains at large. In a related tragedy, it was learned that the investigation has cost the life of Madison Page, a young reporter covering the Origami Killer story. We're just getting word that the investigation into the Origami Killer has had a tragic outcome. Ethan Mars, father of the kidnapped boy and suspected of being the Origami Killer, has been killed in a police operation. Circumstances surrounding this tragedy have not yet been made public, but it is understood that Captain Leighton Perry and Lieutenant Carter Blake have both been suspended, pending a full police investigation.
Come on, Sean. We've got to go now.
Journalist Madison Page was laid to rest in Charity Cross Cemetery today. Her heroic death while investigating the disappearance of Sean Mars has made a lasting impression on the whole country. Colleagues from the press are united in paying tribute to this courageous journalist who sacrificed her life in the search for truth. I'm Brittany Sanders for ICN.
Okay, Brittany, it's a wrap.
Great. Let's get out of here. All this hokey claptrap made me hungry.
Are you sure you've thought this through, Norman?